Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online PTS video with me, Sherman. Today guys, I'm on the PTS. I've been checking out the performance changes like frame rates and my ping and everything else, and just kind of going all over the world of ESO, of course, testing this stuff. Now, normally I get 60 FPS naturally. I just do. I don't know why, but the game runs at 60 FPS on Ultra and never deviates. Right now I'm running in a custom settings because I wanted to go in and adjust some stuff to run to my system's parameters. So I did. I'm still getting 60 FPS. My ping seems to fluctuate between 60 and 190 to 200 depending on the area or location I'm in. Where there's more players, my ping seems to go up, but when there's less players around, it goes down. But it's been staying in a consistent, usually around 100 ping. Frame wise, 60 FPS non-stop. Doesn't matter where I go in the game. If I'm in Cyrodiil, if I'm in a dungeon, even in going into trials and running around in there and doing world bosses, all that stuff has been a consistent 60 FPS, which is a massive improvement to what it was before. Before, my FPS was usually anywhere between 48 and like 60, because I can't seem to get more out of it than 60, because my monitor can only do 60 FPS. So but yeah, lots of interesting changes with the performance. So load times do seem a little faster when you travel between zones, which I'll go ahead and do real quick. So I'm going to head over to Murkmire. I haven't been to Murkmire yet to test the FPS and ping and stuff, so I want to check that out. So I did turn on the game's performance stuff to show frame rates and ping, so that way you guys can see. It's in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there. So let's go ahead and bounce over to Murkmire, and we're going to go to the main city here. And you'll notice that there is a load time difference, like from clicking on the link, the thing to Way Shrine here, from the Way Shrine activation, it takes anywhere between 10 to 15 seconds now, whereas sometimes before it could take up to 45 to a minute for you to load into a zone, depending. And there you go, boom, done. And it loads all the assets, fixtures, players, everything, like super fast now. So I never really had a problem with much of that in the past, like most people. But as you can see, I'm still getting consistent 60 frames. We're going to go out here. We're going to go actually face down. Actually, we probably should have just Way Shrine closer to that world boss. Let me go back here and do that. Still getting around 116 ping, but this is on the PTS. This isn't on the live servers. So, and I do have a tool that allows me to see my ping and stuff outside of the game stuff. So you guys don't see that. It is actually in the upper right-hand corner of my screen, but it is something to do with one of my recording software programs that I use. It allows me to see my FPS all the time. So, all right. So one of my favorite world bosses. Lots of stuff goes on here. So. All right. Moving on through the trash, of course. And I did notice that like combat is even a little bit more, I don't want to say super fluent, but like when I go into a heavy attack animation and stuff, like it's so much more reliable, if you will. So I can keep up a consistent amount of stuff. As you can see, I am getting some frame drops here, but that's because of all the environment stuff going on and all the ads and everything. So in a trial, the only one where I saw this same kind of thing was Hellrust Citadel, and that was at the beginning. Every other trial, I was getting consistent 60 FPS. Oops, wrong one. Boom, Dawnbreaker, all of them. I keep forgetting, like, my keystrokes on this game because of the fact I've been playing a lot of Conan Exiles lately. Not gonna lie. And because of that, it's been really awkward getting back into this. So. But as you can see, I'm getting around 40, 50 frames now, so it's not too bad. Still not seeing a major drop-off in this stuff, so. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. So you guys, I just wanted you guys to see, even on a system that's not super high-end, because I'm not running a super high-end system. I'm actually running an i5 3250, I think it is what it is. CPU, I'm running 32 gigabytes of RAM, and that's the DDR3. And then I'm running a NVIDIA 760 card, video card right now, and I'm still getting, for an older system, I do have a solid state drive, but that only runs my Windows. All my other stuff runs on a standard terabyte hard drive, and I'm still getting pretty decent FPS ping and everything like that on, like I said, this not super dated, but much more older stuff. So I'm not running like high-end equipment like a lot of people that do videos and things like that. I'm actually running a lower end system, and I'm still getting decent FPS and everything. So performance wise, I've noticed a huge improvement in load times, fixture loading, all that kind of stuff, and pretty much just overall gameplay experience. Whatever they did to the combat this time around with the block changes, like, I don't notice the block canceling. Even when I activate it, I barely notice it, especially when I'm in an intense fight and stuff like that. So lots of really good improvements to performance, most definitely. Load times, much better. The only place I'm seeing a load time issue is when you first log in and you go to the character select screen. It can still take on average a minute and a half to load that up. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it will. Especially right after the patch, like when I went to log in, I had to shut down the launcher, of course, reopen the launcher, and then launch the game before it let me get into the game, because after it patched, it wouldn't let me into the game, log in at all. It would just sit there and it just load for hours, you know, like almost an hour it loaded, and it wouldn't let me get to the character select. And I was like, well, okay, so I relaunched the launcher, which is an old bug that this game has had for a while, and relaunched the launcher, game loaded fine. But it was still a long loading process. Cyrodiil, I again didn't even notice any long loading times, so I'll go ahead and queue up for a Cyrodiil thing. We'll go ahead and go to Raven's Watch. And you notice that was like super fast. And even though it's on the PTS, even on PTS, it could take 10 to 20 minutes sometimes to get into Cyrodiil. And it was just like, what? Really? And this time it was like practically instant. And you saw how fast it loaded me in here. And you can see there I'm still getting a consistent 60 FPS. I know I'm not in combat, but usually when I would get to Cyrodiil, I would be sitting at about 30 frames per second, and then it would gradually climb to 60 after it loaded all the assets and everything. But since they did this performance update, and they changed how things load and all that with this last update, things seem smoother. They seem more like there's more to the loading and how fast things work. So much more workable in my opinion. So performance update, A+ to the devs on that. We're seeing some big improvements, especially on, like I said, I'm running a lower end system to what some content creators run, and it's not that I don't want to upgrade, I do, but I just don't see a reason to upgrade when my system runs most games this well. So, especially the games I play, which are mostly online MMOs. Even Elsewhere runs really smooth, and Elsewhere is a very graphics intensive area, so I'm going to go ahead and load into Elsewhere just to show you guys again. So anytime they add a new zone, the new zones seem to have more intense graphics. Things seem richer, brighter, more vibrant in the way they look compared to the base game stuff. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that when they started building this game, the art environment or the art team was, you know, pretty much copying and pasting a lot of the environments. But now that we have new zones, those new zones load in amazingly well. And this is, now remember, this isn't a live environment, so we can't really give a comparison to what it will look like on live. We can just do like I'm doing here, saying, hey, yeah, the improvements are showing, but we need to see that we definitely are going to have to see how it works out on live. Right now, everything's running way smoother, way more efficient and effective than it did before. It's so much nicer. So, but that's pretty much it for the performance stuff. I do want to talk about what I'm going to be doing with videos this week, and just kind of give you guys a heads up. So later this week, I'm going to be doing videos on the 2 new dungeons. I'm going to be showing off Ice Reach, and then the Unhallowed Grave, and I'm going to do those starting tomorrow. So I'm going to show Ice Reach out tomorrow in solo play. We're going to see how far we can make it. I have not gone into either of the dungeons yet to try them out, so you guys will be experiencing that just with me tomorrow. And like I said, I'll be doing Ice Reach, and then I'll be doing the Unhallowed Grave. And then later this week, I'm going to do the housing tours. I'm going to look at both houses of the new houses, which I've already gone through and looked at. And I have to say, I am thoroughly and utterly impressed with the 2 new houses. They are amazingly well put together, well placed, and perfect layout. Especially for the thief one, the Thieves' Den. It's literally like a small piece of... I can't even think of the name of the city now. Abaz Landing. So in Hughesbane, it's a lot like this in its aesthetic look, but it has a lot of space in it. I'll say that. The other one's more open with space, but it's both of them are really cool and really well, like I said, put together. And I like the fact that the one comes with a blacksmithing place built into it. That just helps it so much more. So, but yeah, and that's what I got going on this week. Next week, I will start getting into looking at the gear sets and testing those and all that. So expect next week to be a lot of stuff talking about the new gear sets coming to the game with this, and hopefully some of the patch stuff that happens between now and launch will be more on stabilizing the performance stuff and making sure it's running well. I did get a question on what add-ons I'm using, because a lot of people have noticed that I've dumped combat metrics, and I've dumped my AU, or not my AUI, my UI for a different thing. And I've just gone to the, I think it's the Oblivion. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So I am actually running Harvest Maps, Lost Treasures, Morrowind Style, that's it, UI, Sky Shards, and Lord, and that's it. So these are the add-ons I'm running now. And it doesn't require me to, like, super extend what I do with the game. Like, when you run a lot of add-ons, people don't realize that it does affect your performance of your game, because all those add-ons are running no matter what. So as you're playing the game, you've got all those add-ons running, and if your system's not powerful enough to run the add-ons and the game simultaneously, you're going to get a lot of frame rate issues, you're going to get a lot of gameplay issues and things like that as well. So I minimalized my add-ons even more than what I was before, to give me better, just a better overall experience. So, and I like it. I like the minimalistic UI. It's really nice to be able to see what's going on, more than worrying about numbers and everything else. So, but yeah, I did do an update to my gameplay experience. I actually have it set on both my PTS and on the live service the same, so that means no matter what I do, I can always check this stuff. I might load combat metrics on again. I don't know. I don't really see a point in me using it, considering the fact I'm not a numbers chaser anymore. I really don't care about that stuff. I'm more interested in just playing the game and completing the content. So I know a lot of people are interested in the high numbers and everything, but I'm actually using the custom or the standard UI for the buffs and stuff too. Because once you get so used to the gameplay, and you experience how everything works, you realize that you just don't need all that extra garbage. No offense to those who like to use it. If you're more interested in just playing the game and not chasing numbers, there's no need for it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on, guys. So, performance update, like I said, A+ to the devs. Good job. Keep them coming. We definitely need to see more. And to those who are wondering, like, how it works, or if it works, it does work. But like you said, we won't know a difference until it's on the live environment. Here is the PTS, and the PTS is at maximum, I'm gonna guess, maybe if we're lucky, 20,000 people testing, versus the live service, which, you know, supposedly has 15 million. So, which we know isn't true. No way are 15 million people logging on consecutively at the same time. I think the server would explode. But it does look like they've done a lot of server-in stuff too, and I think a lot of it had to do with us re-downloading the game this update. And for those who are asking about that, it's 65 gigs. 67 if you're doing a fresh install. It's 65 if you're updating from what's already there. And updating from what's already there, it will override any pre-existing files. So that's a good thing. Other than that, it just seems like everything's running smoother, more fluent, more efficient. I'm not seeing as many frame drops in different environments, like even here and elsewhere. Like when elsewhere first launched live, I was lucky if I saw 60 frames half the time, because there was so many people in the area. But coming into this area now, on the PTS and seeing 60 FPS no matter where I go is a good thing. And again, that's pretty much it. So as with all videos, if you guys liked this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me, you can subscribe. Other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and this guy might see you in game. Bye.